As a frequent traveler, one thing always spins in my head. How can I travel more responsibly? How can I take small steps towards being a more sustainable traveler? So I chose to go on a slightly different adventure and rent an electric vehicle for my next road trip from Barcelona to Andorra. They say Europe is ready for the electric revolution, but is it really? Welcome to today's video. We are going on a road trip from Barcelona to Andorra and back, and we aren't going to take any car to Andorra. We will take this one here. It's an electric car, and this is the very first time I'm doing a road trip with an electric vehicle. I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit nervous and I do feel some anxiety of range, but we are going to test today if Europe is actually ready for electric vehicles or not. Let's get this road trip started. We're starting this trip with 43%, so it's not fully charged in this car, which means we will probably already need to charge it somewhere along the way. We'll figure that out. It's 200 kilometers to Andorra, so it's quite a long way. And I know that a Tesla can actually go up to 600 kilometers with one charging, probably only under perfect circumstances, but anyway. But this one here, I don't think it will go that far. But I have no idea how far it can go actually. We'll figure that out. Let's start. People often decide against e-vehicles because they believe that the charging infrastructure in Europe is incomplete, especially between urban and rural areas. This leads to many doubts of practicality of EVs for long-distance travel. And even if there are chargers, it doesn't mean they work. So we barely left Barcelona and we realized that the battery is getting less and less. Pretty quickly. We are at 35% right now and we haven't been driving that much yet. We wanted to charge and we are running into the first problem. This charger here at the gas station does not work, but apparently there's one just around the corner that is supposed to work. We will go there now and charge. I'm also hungry, so it was fine. We had a stop planned along the way anyway, but we'll see if we charge it now, if we can get to Andorra with charging only once. We found a place to charge. I am relieved, to be honest. You can scan a barcode there and then you set up the payment and well, now I'm supposed to charge the car. Let's see how this works. Actually, it's also cool that there is actually a station here, so there are several chargers and that means it's more reliable, I guess. If one is broken, you can still use another one. All right, it's inserted. Is it charging now? How do I know? I don't know. What does it say? It says it's preparing the communication with the car, whatever that means. Charging. It's charging! We are at 35% as you can see, so here in this area we can also see how much we are charging, and it costs 66 cents per kilowatt hour. I don't know if that's a lot. I have no idea how many kilowatt hours we need to fill up this car. We'll see if this is actually cheaper than gasoline at the end of this trip or if it's actually more expensive. Owners of EVs often complain that charging takes too long and that chargers are often broken or occupied, especially off the beaten path. So for a road trip, it really makes sense to plan your breaks in places where you can do something while charging and where there are more than just one charger available. I had my snack and we are still waiting. It says here that so far we are charging since 11 minutes and we are at 62%. So at the beginning, I've heard that the charging is quite quick, but then later on, the fuller it gets, the slower the charging will be. We decided to charge it until 90%, so not completely full. Here in the car, it says it will take 55 more minutes to charge the car completely. We'll see how much more time we need until we reach the 90%. However, how quickly you can charge depends on the charging stations and of course also on the car. As far as I know, if you have a Tesla, for example, you can easily charge it within less than an hour from completely empty to completely full. But then you will also have a charging station that is quick in charging. So there are some that are a little bit slower, some are faster. It always depends on how lucky you are and what you can find on the way. One thing is clear, you will have to plan some time for the stops to charge the car. We are at 90% and it took us 40 minutes, so 40 minutes of waiting time. So you cannot just charge a car within a, 10-15 minutes break. That's not going to work. We started at 37% and now 90%, and that took already 40 minutes. That's quite some time. I need to figure out how to get this thing out now. I don't know. There's like signs here. Is that it? No. I don't know how this works. Okay, we are facing the next challenge. How do we get this out? We managed to do this. Actually, we don't know how, because while I was doing something, scanning the code here again and trying to figure out if I can do this online somehow, my boyfriend was pressing a button here. So we don't know if it was pressing the button or if it was me doing something online. But we got it out of there, and we are going to continue our ride to Andorra now with 91%. Let's hope that this will be sufficient, because I really don't want to have a break again. While driving, I kept remembering my trip to China at the beginning of the year. There, it is completely normal to see hybrid and electric cars. It was so nice to walk around big cities full of cars and yet hear almost no noise. China is in the electric vehicle industry since more than 20 years, and it stands out dramatically. In 2024, EVs made up about 27% of all new car sales in China. That's double Europe's rate of 13% and more than triple the US figure of only 8%. While in Europe, electric vehicles are quite expensive, the Chinese models are way more affordable and the roads are better prepared. Across the European Union, there are roughly 18 electric vehicles per public charging station, while the EU's target is only 10 electric vehicles per charger. The US looks even worse, with 24 electric vehicles per public charging station. In China, this number looks way better, with only 7 electric vehicles per public charging station. More charging stations make getting an electric vehicle easier, more comfortable, and more reliable. We are back on the road, and we are losing energy quite quickly, I think, or it feels like it. But it's also because I'm not used to that, and of course I don't know this car. I feel like it is a huge car that also needs a lot of energy. It does make me feel anxious, and it feels more stressful than with a car with gasoline. However, keep in mind also you can run out of gasoline, right? It's just that we are more used to it, and we know there are more gas stations everywhere, not only in the cities, so it's less possible to run out of gasoline. It's 1.5 hours and 180 kilometers still to Andorra, and I really hope that we don't have to stop again. I want to charge it once we arrive, but not before. I don't know, by the way, how much we paid. Somehow the charger didn't tell us, and I haven't received anything yet. At the end of this video, I will let you know the whole costs of, well, this road trip and charging the car. We have been driving for more or less 1.5 hours now, and we are at 45%. So we have used 45% already, half of the battery that we had, and we still have 1 hour and 12 minutes left and 65 kilometers. So we've done 120 kilometers. Most of the way is done already. However, I am feeling the anxiety getting back. The stress levels are a bit high again, because we are now going uphill most of the time. Andorra is in the mountains, so going uphill we will of course also need more energy. And this car specifically should be able to take you up to 320 kilometers, but obviously that is under perfect conditions. The time of battery depends on various factors, such as the weather conditions, the road you are driving on, the speed, and so on. There are many conditions impacting the battery. I am not sure if we won't need to charge again before getting to Andorra. I really hope not, but I also don't want to stretch out the limits too much. In theory, this car seems to be made to travel. It's a big car, and I feel like 320 kilometers is not that far, to be honest. But we'll see if we can make it to Andorra. It's only 44% now. We made it! And we even managed to get here with 21%. I honestly wasn't believing that, but we are at a station and it seems to be working. There are a lot of people charging here, which is a good sign, I think. Let's figure out how this one here works. I even think this is a fast charger with 300 kilowatts. The other one, I think it was 60, I'm not sure anymore. But this one is a quick one. You can see there's someone charging his Tesla here, and that's a good sign for quick chargers. Let's see how expensive it is here. So we tried to download an application to pay, but actually somehow it didn't accept my card. I don't know why. But there's also a station that we could use, and there we were able to pay with my card. In any case, you have to insert how much kilowatts you want to charge, and honestly I have no idea how much this car needs. We just put in 80 and you will pay for 80 kilowatts, but if you use less than that, you will be returned the money you paid too much. So it will be fine. We will charge now. These things are heavy actually. And it said at that station over there that it will take about 20 minutes. So this is how extremely quickly this thing is. And we'll see if with that we will be actually full. All right, it's charging. The car says it needs 1 hour and 15 minutes to charge completely. It is cheaper here in Andorra than in Spain. 1 kilowatt hour costs 45 cents. So that's like more than 20 cents less than in Spain, which is cool. We'll see how much it costs us in the end. In any case, we are going to leave the car now and explore the capital of Andorra a little bit.
That was the original plan, to take the fully charged car to Andorra and to explore the capital while charging the car. This way, we really wouldn't have noticed the difference between a car with gasoline and the electric vehicle. But well, that plan did not work out thanks to getting handed over an electric vehicle with less than half of the battery.
Alright, we are at 97% and it took us 1 hour and 25 minutes. This car is not made for these superchargers. It can charge a maximum speed of 100 kilowatts, and these chargers here are made for Teslas, which explains why there were so many Teslas here in this area as well. So yeah, that kind of sucks because it takes a lot of time that you need to plan. Of course, for us it was fine now. We were able to walk a little bit through the city and enjoy the city a little bit. We had this planned anyway, but it is something you need to keep in mind if you want to rent an electric car. I believe electric cars are not made for every road trip. It depends. If you have a very limited amount of time, I would definitely suggest you to rent a normal car because, well, it's simply time saving, less stressful, and so much easier in many ways. We are now going to take the car to our hotel.
The driving experience is pretty cool, but I must confess that the next time I will rent an electric car, I will actually get more advice from the car rental place. I would definitely not choose this car again because I feel like charging is slow and also the battery doesn't last that long. So of course this adds up to a little bit of more stress. However, it is a great experience, and if you have a road trip planned out, it's also completely fine in my opinion. You can plan stops. What really sucked for us this morning was that this car wasn't fully charged. Again, my learning here is definitely check with the car rental company before you get there to not have these negative surprises. And besides that, I think it was a great experience. For the future, I would love to try a different car, maybe, I don't know, one that definitely can go a little bit further, and maybe a Chinese car, because China is in the industry since more than 20 years, so they should know how to build good electric cars, right? I do recommend you to try this out as well at some point, but plan it a little bit. Learn from my mistakes. For us, it is now time to enjoy Andorra, and tomorrow we will do the same tour all the way back to Barcelona. We will use the same stops as today, and well, the tour will be exactly the same. We will charge it here again, then go to the place close to Barcelona, charge it again a little bit so that we will arrive at the car rental area with 40% more or less. So that was it. For me, it was a great and fun experience. A little bit stressful, I'm not going to lie, but again, as long as you get used to it, I think it will be fine. And the better you get to know electric cars, the better you will also know how to handle them. For full transparency, renting the electric car was not more expensive than renting the gasoline version of this model. At the first stop, we charged the car for 18 euros and 1 cent. The second stop in Andorra cost us 19 euros and 3 cents. Before leaving Andorra, we charged it again just a little bit for 3 euros and 69 cents. And then at the last stop, near Barcelona, we charged it again just a little bit, and it has cost us 3 euros and 3 cents. That makes 43 euros and 76 cents in total. In total, we drove about 450 kilometers. Let me know in the comment section if 44 euros for 450 kilometers sounds expensive to you or like a good deal. Europe-wide, the hesitation around electric vehicles often stems from practical concerns and inconsistent experiences, not outright rejection of the technology. Challenges, especially related to charging infrastructure, cost, and usability, are real and visible. At the same time, many owners remain supportive, willing to adapt, and optimistic. The question now is, will Europe finally focus on improving the electric vehicle infrastructure? And will they subsidize them more to make electric vehicles more attractive for buyers?